welcome to Crochet and Beyond. My name is Angela, and today I'm going to teach you how to do the Picot Stitch. I made a sample here of this stitch, and it's about 8 by 8, and it goes together with all kinds of other stitches that I'm doing here. Here on my channel, I already have a couple of these videos available. Actually, this one here is the 9th out of a series of 9 stitches here that I'm teaching you, so it is the last one. So all the others should be available for you already. So what I'm doing is I taught you 9 different kinds of stitches, today being the last one. And with these stitches here, you can make them exactly what I'm doing here. Follow the amount of chains I did and the same length, and then follow how I am doing my edging, and then eventually very soon here I'm going to be putting this together. You can do this all here with me and make amazing blanket colors. You can pick whatever you want, and that's up to you. But if you don't want to do this enormous project here, you can pick any of these stitches, including the one I'm going to show you today, the Picot Stitch, and do anything you want. You only have to follow a foundation chain formula. So for the Picot Stitch, if you chain a multiple of 2 chains, you're good. It's always going to work out. Just a multiple of 2. All right. Now, the Picot Stitch here is a very lacy stitch, so there's a lot of room here to put your fingers through. So if that's the type of garment you are looking for, then go for it. Other than that, if you want something a little bit more close-knit, then definitely this is not the one. And it's a very cute stitch because it makes these bumps here, almost like tiny little popcorns all over the place. And what happens with that is a lot of chain 3s. You have to do chain 3s and then crochet on the 3rd chain from the hook. That will make these tiny little knots all over the place. And in between, there is a lot of double crochet. So it is a very simple stitch, nothing really complicated about it. Once you get the hang of it, it's a no-brainer. You just go, 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 go. You don't need to be following any pattern, really. So it's totally one of those stitches that you want to make like a big blanket, like a big one-piece blanket with this, or if you want to make a scarf, that would look very good as well. And then when you are done with whatever you created with this stitch, I would love to see it. I do have a crochet Facebook group that you can join and show me what you made. A link to that is in the descriptions below. Go to the group, ask to be added. I will certainly have you join, and then you can share. Alrighty, until soon, take care, bye. With worsted weight yarn of size 4 and a hook that is 5.25 millimeters, I am going to chain our foundation chain. For this square here, I will need 26 chains. All right, now here I will start my initial knot this way. I like to make a loop right here and hold it between my middle finger and thumb. Insert the hook and make 3 chains while I hold this in the bottom here. Don't let go. Make 3 chains. There is 1, 2, 3. Now hold on at the top, nice and tight, and release the bottom, pull the string, and that will leave me with a knot and my very first chain. That's how I like to do it. There's many ways, several ways of doing the initial knot. This is the one I prefer, and it works for me. Okay, already 26 chains. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. And there is 25 and 26. Alrighty, once I'm done with my foundation chain, I leave the bigger hook behind and I go with a slight smaller one. I like to do my foundation chains with a bigger hook because it makes it a bit more stretchy, flexible, already easier to work with. Okay, so make sure that your chains look even. So it can't be a very tight chain. That's a very difficult one to work with. So it needs to be nice and stretchy like this one. Alrighty, so let's move along. Your very first row here is super simple. It's all single crochet. Now pay attention to where your very first single crochet goes. It goes on the 2nd chain from the hook. Okay, that's the first one, that's the 2nd. and do that single crochet into that second right there. And from here, single crochet in each of your chains. Alrighty, so that's 3 already. Now there is a 4 and 5. Make sure you get that top loop. That's all you want. 6 and so on. Do this single crochet row until the end of the row, and I'll meet you here again, okay? 24 and 25. So there is 25 single crochet. So you had 26 chains, and that makes 25 single crochets, which is one number less than your foundation chain. So if your foundation chain is longer, you're making something bigger here, then remember that your single crochet row is one less than the number of your foundation chain, okay? Let's move forward here into row 2. Before we turn, chain 1 and then turn. Now pay careful attention here. This one here has a very special little something that you need to do to make the picot happen, okay? Now single crochet in the very first single crochet. So that is the one right there. Remember, when we do a chain 1, it does not count as your very first single crochet. Don't get confused with that. In other projects, when we chain 3, that will count as a first double crochet. You relate? But here, this doesn't. So this is just to give you a little bit more space and evenness on the edge. So this chain 1 here is really a nobody. Yeah. So turn it around. Let's pretend the chain 1 didn't even exist, and you are going to do your very first single crochet in the very first stitch, which is this one. This is the second already, so don't get confused, okay? Already. Single crochet in the very first stitch. Good. Now chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now keep an eye on this chain 3 that you just did and isolate it. This is what you're working with now. Here you're going to do a slip stitch on the third chain from the hook, which is 1, 2, 3, the very first one. So insert your hook right there and slip stitch. That kind of makes a little bubble there. You see? Alrighty. Now, from here, skip the next stitch, which is this one, and then single crochet in the next one. And that's it. So it creates a bump. Okay, see that? And then from here, keep repeating. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then slip stitch in the third chain from the hook, and skip this stitch, and then single crochet in the next one. And there we go. On and on and on. So this is another pattern that once you get the hang of it, it just goes like you could do it with your eyes closed, right? Let's do one more. 2, 3. Skip and give. Oh, forgive me. I was going to forget the picot right there. See? Yeah, that could happen. Careful, don't get distracted and forget to do the picot. If you forget and you realize later, it's really not a big deal. Like once the work is ready, you're not really going to notice. But you can't do too many of those, otherwise it does start becoming noticeable. So just so you know, it's not the end of the world if you forget one of these picots here. Okay? Alrighty, skip and then insert in the next one. Alrighty, so that's the secret of the picot stitch. So see, it becomes nice and bumpy. Alrighty, now from here, I'm gonna let you work until the end of the row. And here goes my last picot. 1, 2, 3, and then right there and there. Skip and single crochet. Super simple, right? Alrighty, so if you're doing this exact same size here, you should have 12 picots, okay? Now, if you're doing a bigger one, you will have whatever number of picots, right? And you should end up just right here at the end, yeah? That's why the multiple of 2 chain will work just right. Don't you do a odd number chain. That will not work, okay? Because ultimately you need to have a odd number of single crochets in the bottom. For that, you need to start with an even number of chains. I guess that's clear, right? Alrighty, so let's go into row 3. Okay, before you do that, listen up. You need to chain 6. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, now isolate the last 3 single crochets. So these were the very first 3, and I want to keep looking at the last 3. Now guess what? You're gonna do a picot here already. And that is your very first picot made, even before you turned. I did that one a little tight, huh? There we go. Okay, now turn. Alrighty, and now skip this whole bump here and find that single crochet that you did right after here. Remember when you did the first picot here and you had a single crochet? Okay, find that single crochet. Can you see it? And it's just before the next bump, the next picot, right there. And that's where I single crochet again. And then the whole process of 1, 2, 3 chains and single, slip stitch in the 3rd chain from the hook starts all over again. Find the next single crochet. There we go. Oh, single crochet. Don't do a slip stitch. I was tempted there. Okay, so here we go. And picot. Alrighty? Now let's move into row 4. Before you do that, you have to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you turn. Okay. Before you actually work here, look into your last 3 single crochets here. 1, 2, 3. And then slip stitch in the 3rd chain from the hook. So you're making a picot here already. Slip stitch right there. Sounds good? And now here you're going to work similarly to the 2nd row. You will find the next stitch to insert your next stitch, which is a double crochet this time. Now you have these picots here, and in between the picots you have that single crochet from the previous row, remember? So that's the spot you find for your next double crochet this time. So we do not do single crochets anymore. So there we go. There is a double crochet. And then again we go 1, 2, 3, and make a picot. Double crochet right there. Alrighty, 1, 2, 3, and make your little bump with a slip stitch and double crochet, which ends up always just before the next picot. Okay, now repeat that. It's very straightforward here from picot to picot, getting it done. Okay, I'll meet you at the end of the row here, and then we'll do one more row together. All right, now let's finish a double crochet here, another picot, 2, 3, that's your last one. And how do we end it here is with a double crochet at your next last stitch right there. There we go. That's it. Now from here we repeat over and over and over again. So let me line it up a little bit better. Okay, see? Let's begin row 5, and then from there I'll leave you working your piece until you are ready for a edging. Again, remember that this one here, every time before we turn, we have to go 6 chains. 4, 5, 6, turn, and before you continue, make sure you find 1, 2, 3rd chain from the hook and make your picot, and then go all over again. Find your stitch again right there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, picot, double crochet always just before the next picot. Let's do one more. All right, And that's it. So keep working the desired length. And there we go. It's a very cute stitch. It's a very open stitch. Has a lot of air to breathe. It's very lacy. So it might work for some ideas, but other ideas, not really. I would say for a baby blanket, I wouldn't recommend, because baby can put his hands, his fingers too much in between. Might not be a great idea. I can imagine this for a shawl, like a scarf. That would look good. Or you could simply use this as a edging on a towel or a tablecloth. Okay, there we go. So work on it, and then let's meet at the end when I have a square. We're gonna meet again, and then I'm gonna show you how to do a single crochet edging. Completed. There we go. Love this stitch. It's a very soft stitch, definitely very lacy. All right, it's pretty. I can imagine this very pretty in a shawl. All right, now let's do the edging. Because I'm using this sample here to make a blanket with other sample squares I'm making, I need to be very precise on how much single crochets I have on my edging. The single crochet edging is simple. I don't need anything fancy with this edging here. It's up to you what kind of edging you want to do. Maybe for you, your job is done. Maybe you made a big square here to make a blanket. I don't know. Maybe you're making a shawl. Maybe you're making a scarf. Then the edging might not be necessary. All right? But if you are joining this with other squares that are the same size, then make sure that you have the same number of single crochets. All right? So in my case here, I have 3 single crochets here on each corner. Then I will have 25 single crochets in between. So let's do the corner first. All right. So first, before you go on, go ahead and do 1 chain. Then right here in this big spot, let's go ahead and do 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and there is 3. All right. Now, here you have to make sure that you know where your next corner goes, and it would be right there. Is a tiny hole there. I prefer this one here. This looks more like a corner for 3 single crochets. So that is my next corner. So count here the obvious places where a single crochet will go, and count the obvious places first, and then if you have not 25 yet, you might have to double up somewhere. All right, so let's see how that goes. Starting from here, we will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Wow, that was exact. I didn't plan that. Interesting. My other squares, usually I have to double up a bit here. It doesn't end up exactly perfect like this one. So there we go. Good for me. Alrighty, so this one is very much straightforward, not much thinking here, okay? Alright, so that's my first one coming up right here for 1 and 2 and then 3 and 4. So you see you're doing like 1 on a knot here, let's say 5, and 1 on a big space, 6, right? 7, 24, and there is 25. That's the one, and then here is my corner. Kind of ignore that tail there. Just go for 1 and 2 and 3. All right. Now this edge here is a very obvious edge. It all has nicely formed chains. So it's easy peasy here. Now, be careful because you might be confused if you use only 1 loop of that chain or if you use both, right? I prefer using both. It makes it a little bit more like less spacey, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna put my crochet hook right into these big hard spaces. So I always have 2 loops, okay? Now, let's see how many I will have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, this will be my corner. 24, 25 will go here in the middle somewhere. So I'll double up somewhere, okay? See, this one I had to double up. All right, so there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna double up here. 8 and 9. There we go. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Now here I'm going to double up 19 and 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Perfect. And now here comes my corner. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. And here we go. This is about the same as the other side. Again, just double check to be sure. This is a big space here. So my corner, let me see, should be about, not in the big one here, but in the small one. So let's see how many I have until there. Okay, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Got a bit too much here, right? So maybe I might do my corner right here, because otherwise it might be a little too long. Yeah, I think I'll do that. All right. Actually, I think I'm going to skip this one here, and then I'm going to end up with 1. I think that will even itself out better. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 24, and there is 25. Perfect. And here is my corner of 1, 2, and 3. Alrighty, now this is my last edging here, and it's a bit tricky here because there is all those little bumps, right? So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna single crochet right on them. Pretty much single crochet on the bump, off the bump, on and off. It's just gonna cover them. Okay, so let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25, somewhere here and here. Makes sense? Okay, almost done. Okay, so here it is. 1 in the bump. Just stick it in the bump and don't think too much about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, 9, and 10. Now that I think about it, 10. I should have on my last row here just done a simple double crochet, single crochet something row. I shouldn't have done the bumps. Yeah, now that I think of it, because they aren't going to show anyway, I'm just kind of like hiding them in here. So I could have ignored them and just finished up a smooth row, so to say. So I could have done that. But I'm not going to open it now. It's all right. It suddenly came to me right now. I'm like, I should have done that. Yeah. Okay, I did 10. Then wasn't I supposed to double up somewhere? I forgot. 10, let's go in 11. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, okay, hang on, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 19, let's make a 20 here, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25, all done. There we go, that was my 25. I join it more or less here, and there we go. Join with a slip stitch. There, all done. Okay, I'm going to cut here and then make a loop, weave in this loop. Yeah, I do not weave in the ends here because I will do that as I join my squares. Other than that, you just, if you need this for something else, you just do the weaving in with a needle into the stitches here. I'm assuming you know how to do that. Some of my other videos might be a little bit more explanatory. It's really not a big deal, right? Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and this is a beautiful stitch, and I hope you enjoyed making it. So send me a feedback, click a like on this video, and please send me a comment. Okay, thank you, bye.